While everyone is focused on giant touchscreens and software updates, the automotive industry's most important battle is playing out somewhere you can't see. It isn't happening on a racetrack, and it certainly isn't in a flashy commercial. It is taking place within microscopic layers of chemical engineering deep inside Japanese laboratories. Right now, EV makers like Tesla and BYD are selling millions of cars powered by liquid-electrolyte lithium-ion batteries. They appear to be winning the EV race. However, Japanese automakers, led by Toyota, are quietly preparing a move that could render all current electric cars obsolete overnight. They aren't playing the short-term game of building massive battery factories today. Instead, they are aiming straight for the Holy Grail of energy storage, solid-state batteries. If you follow the electric vehicle market, you are well aware of the current issues. Driving range drops drastically in cold weather. Charging still takes far longer than filling a gas tank. And heavy liquid battery packs mean modern EVs weigh as much as a full-size pickup truck. Every major manufacturer is trying to squeeze a little more range out of traditional liquid lithium cells. They add larger packs, tweak aerodynamics, and write better thermal management code. But these are merely stopgap measures for a century-old concept. Liquid electrolytes have hit a physical barrier. They can only hold a limited amount of energy. They degrade over time, and they catch fire if damaged. The industry needed a revolution, not just another minor update. This brings us to a major misconception in the automotive world. For the past 5 years, the narrative has been simple. Japan fell behind. Analysts claim that Toyota, Honda, and Nissan slept through the transition to electric vehicles, while Western and Chinese brands took the lead. But that narrative completely misses what was actually happening behind closed doors. While companies were burning through billions of dollars trying to ramp up production of current generation batteries, Japanese engineers were doing something entirely different. And this is where things get interesting. The real secret Japanese automakers isn't just that they are working on solid-state technology. It's that they own virtually the entire global intellectual property landscape for it. If you look at worldwide patent filings for solid-state batteries, Toyota alone holds thousands of active patents. When you factor in Honda, Nissan, Panasonic, and Idemitsu Kozen, Japan controls the vast majority of the breakthrough innovations needed to actually build these batteries. While the rest of the world was busy building factories for current generation batteries, Japan was quietly patenting the future. They didn't miss the train. They were busy building a hyperloop beneath the tracks. To understand why this is a multi-billion-dollar bet, you need to look at what solid-state batteries actually do. In a traditional battery, lithium ions move back and forth through a liquid or gel electrolyte. That liquid is flammable, heavy, and temperature-sensitive. A solid-state battery replaces that liquid with a solid material, usually ceramics, polymers, or sulfides. By eliminating the liquid, you eliminate the risk of thermal runaway. This means you don't need massive, heavy cooling systems surrounding the battery pack. Removing those heavy cooling channels changes everything about the car's design. Solid-state cells can hold up to twice the energy density in the same physical space. Imagine a Toyota RAV4 EV or a Honda CR-V EV that weighs the same as a standard gasoline model, travels 1,100 kilometers on a single charge, and recharges from 10 to 80% in less than 10 minutes. This isn't an incremental improvement. It completely demolishes every objection buyers have today regarding range anxiety and charging times. It puts electric performance on par with a quick stop at the gas station. There is a detail in Japan's approach that almost no one noticed. They didn't feel the need to rush this technology to market because solid-state batteries have a brutal engineering problem called dendrites. As the battery charges and discharges, tiny needle-like lithium structures grow inside the cell. In a solid-state battery, these dendrites eventually pierce the solid separator, causing a short circuit and destroying the cell. For years, scientists could make solid-state cells work in a perfect laboratory environment, but couldn't handle the harsh realities of real-world driving: extreme heat, freezing cold, and constant vibrations over thousands of kilometers. However, that isn't the biggest surprise. Instead of launching unfinished technology just to grab headlines, Japanese manufacturers adopted an obsessive and methodical approach. Toyota partnered with energy giant Idemitsu Kozen to develop flexible, highly conductive, sulfide-based solid electrolytes that resist cracking. Nissan built an entire pilot production line in Yokohama to master mass production techniques. Honda constructed its own dedicated demonstration facility to test solid-state production methods. They didn't just want to create a functional battery in a lab. They wanted to figure out how to manufacture millions of them with impeccable Japanese reliability. When you compare the strategy to that of competitors in North America and China, the contrast is stark. Brands like Tesla and BYD expanded gigafactories to build liquid-ion batteries as quickly as possible. This secured them a massive market share and huge revenues in the present, but also tethered them to current technology. Retooling a $50 billion network of liquid battery plants to produce solid-state cells isn't like pushing out a software update. It requires completely different machinery, dry room environments, and entirely new manufacturing processes. European luxury giants like BMW and Mercedes-Benz are watching this with keen interest. They know that if Japanese brands launch solid-state vehicles featuring ultra-fast charging and long-range at scale, luxury buyers will switch sides immediately. Why pay a premium for a heavy electric sedan that takes 30 minutes to charge when a Japanese competitor offers double the range and a 10-minute charge time? This shifts the competitive landscape back in Japan's favor. The real story begins here, because this transition won't happen as a single dramatic event. It will be a phased rollout. Toyota has already confirmed plans to introduce solid-state batteries in limited production models first, likely high-end Lexus vehicles, before bringing the technology to high-volume models like the Highlander or Tacoma. Nissan is targeting the middle of the decade for its first commercial vehicles using solid-state technology, aiming to drastically reduce battery pack costs. Most people have missed this crucial financial angle. The cost of raw materials for current batteries is a massive headache for automakers. Solid-state technology, when produced at scale, takes up far less physical space and simplifies the entire pack structure. By eliminating complex liquid cooling circuits, heavy structural components, and redundant safety systems, the vehicle's overall manufacturing complexity plummets. This translates to higher profit margins per vehicle, the very metric every traditional automaker is desperately seeking. So, who wins and who loses in this high-stakes shift? The biggest winners are patient consumers in the Japanese industrial ecosystem. Buyers will finally have electric vehicles that don't force them to compromise on towing capacity, cold weather reliability, or long road trips. A pickup truck like the Toyota Tundra or Ford F-150 equipped with solid-state battery could haul a heavy trailer up a mountain pass without losing half its range in just 30 kilometers. For buyers of pickups and SUVs, this changes everything. On the losing side are companies that over-leverage themselves on first-generation EV platforms without a clear path to next-generation chemistry. Automakers that committed hundreds of billions of dollars solely to ramping up standard lithium-ion production could find themselves holding obsolete assets once solid-state manufacturing matures. They will be forced to buy solid-state technology or license patents from the very Japanese companies they thought were lagging behind. At first, this seemed like a minor update to battery chemistry. But as engineers revealed the patent barriers and manufacturing breakthroughs, it became clear that Japan had been playing a completely different game all along. They sacrificed early market share in the first wave of EVs to secure absolute dominance in the second wave. Now the real question is, will American and European automakers be able to catch up with their own battery breakthroughs, or has Toyota just executed the most brilliant long-term trap in automotive history?